So the final thing I'm going to talk about tonight is one I just saw not too long ago and really pisses me off, to be perfectly honest. Um, and I'm very open. I'm a left winger. I largely despise Trump for a lot of reasons, but I will give him credit where credit's due, just as we've seen with North Korea and all these things. And I will also admit that some of these bad things predate him. Even when I'm talking about now with immigration and and ICE and some of these things do predate him. And no doubt prior administrations should have done better. But you've got to be shitting me with some of this horse shit, this inhumane bullshit that he's doing. And I'm sorry to use that kind of language, but this is ridiculous. All right, you see stories now that that you have a woman with her daughter being breastfeeding her kid, and they pull her away. You see kids being separated from their parents, and you see pictures of kids in cages, and you hear a lot of, oh, we've been doing it, Well, that's not a good enough reason. All right, we shouldn't have been doing it then. We should be doing it. We shouldn't be doing it now. And I get people come illegally, and there has to be a process. We should make that process as humane as possible, because these people are coming. Oftentimes, they're just trying to find a better life, or they're trying to run away, get away from people who want to hurt them. All right, this is America, and we need to bring in, you know. I just think keep coming back to, and I know the times are different. What's it on the Statue of Liberty? Give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, okay? And I understand, that illegal immigration, it doesn't sound good. And, when I was a kid, I used to always think about this because my family came in legally. And I would think this way. But, some people can't wait. Some people got to come. All right? Some people have an economic stress or, a real life, life and death stress. So we should be humane. We should be forgiving. Okay? We should have heart. All right, when we do this. And there's no doubt, having spent a lot of time in Los Angeles, California area, they actually bring a lot of money into the economy too. If you want to talk it from a pure, heartless economy standpoint, they actually do a lot of that menial labor, a lot of that work that, they're not taking jobs from Americans because Americans ain't going to be doing that work. They're just not, all right? So there's actually, they bring in a lot of economic value to the state. All right, then they pay taxes. We should bring them in. The notion of deporting all these people is ridiculous. You're going to crush the economy, and also it's grossly inhumane. All right, and I keep hitting the table because I'm just pissed off. When you see the idea now that they're pulling away Jeff Sessions is a disgusting coward, and he should be thrown in jail because the guy is a fucking KKK member, and he's a disgusting human being. All right, but as foul and disgusting as I find him, I still won't call him an animal. I will not dehumanize the guy. All right, and that's what these guys are doing to them. Trump calls these people animals, and he claims it's MS-13. Oh, what a straw man! It's like Israel using the Hamas straw man. All right, yeah, there are bad people there, but use them as a boogeyman every time. It's ridiculous, and I'm just fed up with this horse shit about. They broke the law because they crossed. Put yourself in their shoes for a second. All right, put yourself in their shoes. These people are dealing with gangs, or they're just trying to find a better life. All right, they're not bad people. You need to show them some heart. And when they come across the border, and the first thing you do is pull their kids away from them. All right, or you send back someone who's a student here, and 3 weeks later she ends up dead. Because she was murdered, because she said, oh, I'm here for asylum, I need to be safe, and you don't believe them, you send them back and they die. Right? And now I'm hearing that even domestic abuse victims are not considered acceptable. They have to be sent back. What kind of heart is that? What kind of, are we even are treating people as human beings anymore? We have to show humanity, all right? Whether you want a strong border or not, we have to, at the bare minimum, have a humanity. And that's something we've lost. And no doubt throughout history, whether we've actually shown it or not is a separate issue. But at least when it's out here right now in the open, we have to speak up and say, we are America and we need to bring people in. And we need to welcome these people with open arms. And if they have if they have to be, sent back, we have to see all the issues. We have to do this in a just way and go through a process justly. And we don't separate the families, okay? And when we talk about, look, if they committed a crime or if they have a felony, they got to go back. That's different. But also we have to talk about rules of asylum. I heard someone on NPR, they were talking. He said, oh, well, asylum doesn't really, account to domestic violence, or it doesn't, account for people who are running from gangs. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Doesn't matter if a gang or a government kills you, you're still fucking dead. So, just, the only thing I ask is just humanity. We shouldn't be pulling babies away from their mothers while they're breastfeeding. We shouldn't be putting kids in cages. This is not how you do. Now we hear that Trump wants to open a detention, quote unquote, detention center for for immigrant kids. This is the Arpaio idea of having mini concentration camps. And I don't use that word fucking lightly, by the way, but that's what we're doing. All right, you stick these as it goes to one step to the other, and then next thing you know, there are people dying in mass there. All right, so it's always cracks me up because you hear like conspiracy theorists like Alex Jones talking about when Obama was president. He has this idea of FEMA camps and some bullshit like that. Well, now we see actual detention camps. And again, granted, some of them predate Trump, but they're taking it to another level, okay? And you got Jefferson Beauregard Sessions, the Attorney General, KKK leader of America, making matters worse and, overturning rules and forcing immigration judges to basically not allow even victims of domestic violence, all right? So... anyways, immigrants do a lot of good for this country, legal or quote-unquote illegal. Obviously, no doubt we need to work on borders, we need to work on immigration, but the people are here and established. We should have a path for citizenship. These people contribute to the economy, and even if they didn't, we should be fucking human beings, right? Too much of that is like, we don't do it anymore. We dehumanize everything. I talked about this in the Bourdain video. We have to open ourselves and hear these people. Hear their stories. Listen to them. All right? If we have so little heart that we just close the door back on them, are we really getting any closer to the ideal? Even though we have a very flawed history, we want to get to that ideal of what America should become. No. And then we should just knock the Statue of Liberty down because we're not doing what we should be doing. All right, regardless of race. I bet if these fucking people, people are coming from fucking Norway, would you hear this kind of complaint? No, they would be crying. They would be weeping because then it would be a white, baby. But because these are brown kids, because these are, and not only brown, but these are poor kids. They, a lot of these people don't see them. People like Steve King, the white supremacist congressman from Iowa, who talks about these people not as human beings. All right. Last time I checked, you don't need to have the science background I have to know that we're all Homo sapiens. We're all human beings. So we should treat everybody with respect and humanity. Even if you don't feel that way, then you don't have I don't know about God or this or that, but you don't have a heart. You are a bad person, and you should be ridiculed and laughed at. And fuck you.